Thank you, Steve, for keeping me on the right track here. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Anybody else have any other updates on Haiti or Latin America? Anything that you think the group should know? Catherine? Go ahead, unmute yourself, Catherine. There you go.
Yeah, I couldn't see where I raised my hand. I wanted to read a message I received from my priest today. We are in Chauffard. It's a little bit west, maybe a little north of Port-au-Prince, about 30 kilometers. He wrote, our news is extremely sad. The bandits have come upon us. We don't know what to do. Chauffard's situation is really complicated at the moment. Many people are already being killed in the surrounding areas. We are afraid for the days to come because the police cannot get to Chauffard and are really powerless in the face of the situations. Only God can deliver us. As I write this message, the bursts of bullets are being heard.
Wow, heavy stuff for sure, Catherine. Thanks for sharing, and we all join in praying for that part of the country as well as all the parts of the world that are experiencing violence. Oh, goodness. Anybody else have anything they want to share with the group before we get started tonight?
Dave Sauer here, Jesu, Milwaukee. I think there was an article today. Was it New York Times or maybe Wall Street Journal, one of the newspapers anyway, talking about the schools and the lost generation of young people in Haiti today as a result of the inability to attend schools. And parents obviously are frightened and children are frightened. And I know what the parish that we're working with does run a school. It's up in the hill country, but and they have been overwhelmed with the number of students who want to come and attend, even though, and they have escaped recent violence. But again, the issue is very, very serious in the Port-au-Prince area.
Thanks, Dave. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I am so excited to introduce you to a man I got to meet back in October. Mendy came to our regional conference. We call it our Central Indiana Churches for Haiti conference that we, Jeff Newell and his wife and a few others host each year. And Mendy showed up there to demo his new solar unit. And I was so impressed with Mendy and so impressed with his ingenuity in coming up with really a brand new way to bring electricity to his home country. Mendy was born in Haiti, now lives in Tennessee. And I found out he was invited by our friend Mike Pratt. Mike's, at least on my screen, is right next to him. Mike is from Our Lady of Mount Carmel in Carmel, Indiana. He's currently in Mexico vacationing, so I really appreciate Mike taking the time. But Mike has known Mendy since he was a fairly young man. Well, he's still a young man, but a very young man. And I asked Mike if he might just introduce Mendy for us because he knows him much better than I. So, Mike.
It's my pleasure. And first of all, I'd ask you all to give a rousing happy birthday to Mendy. Today is his 30th birthday.
Wow, he is indeed a young man.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a quick story and then I will jump. I'm here with my middle daughter whose birthday was yesterday. And we came down here with my in-laws to celebrate her birthday. I've got the pleasure of meeting Mendy in 2010. And we had a group from Our Lady of Mount Carmel that went to Haiti shortly after the earthquake down there. And I had no idea. I took two of my daughters with me. And we were playing soccer with some of the natives. It was more of a relationship trip. And a young man, 14-year-old man, came up to me and said, "My name is Mendy. I want to be mechanical engineer." And I'm kind of I'm a softie in a lot of ways, but I'm also a capitalist in a lot of ways. And I'm like, okay, well, you hear a lot of these stories. And I said, okay, well, come to the parish tonight and we'll take a look at what you did. And it blew me away. Mendy had a Caterpillar, like a Caterpillar, 3-foot Caterpillar toy backhoe that he hooked up to a battery with electrical controls and a steel plate with syringes for pneumatic controls. I'm like, I was blown away. And I'm thinking, wow, this kid really has talent. And he kind of got to meet everybody, and everybody was just completely blown away by him. I come to discover that he has always had a tinkering notion in his, in his bones. He did a lot of this stuff. He rebuilt his mother's house when he was shortly after that. And then he was also an advocate for the ocean and for just conservation, and did some projects that allowed him some grants through Adobe, the company Adobe, and other people helped him, and through some of the Haitian funds, he did become a mechanical engineer. So, we kept in touch. He came and visited. We had him over for Christmas. He came and graduated in mechanical engineering from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and now is living in Chattanooga, and is a very, very, very successful mechanical engineer. However, his passion is how to number one, help people. Number two, how to grow a company. And he and I have talked a little bit about a vision that we have for how do you help Haiti become more independent. Now, I know there's a big vision, and it's challenging, but can you imagine what he's done for our twin parish at Petite Riviere, Saint Antoine Parish in Petite Riviere, is allow us to have a complete power system, a Starlink link for connectivity to the internet, and we're now able to educate the 800 students we have, and also connect the parish across the world. And I'm a huge advocate of the business that he's starting. He was making some decisions by his 30th birthday. Today is the day. And this business will allow him to very economically drop in solar systems to parishes, to communities, to different areas, in order for them to be able to, number one, have electricity, and number two, a Starlink connectivity or whatever, to be able to communicate with the rest of the world. The vision is like you get enough of these in these outlying parishes and outlying communities, and you have the ability to actually take on the terrible things that are going on in Haiti. So I love this kid.
Mike, thanks so much. Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mendy, take it from there.
All right, Mendy, thanks so much for sharing part of your birthday with us today. What a privilege. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure. Thank you, Mike, for holding on with me ever since we met at that on that field. And I would be emailing him every other month and updating him about school and activity and stuff. And even when I got that scholarship to go to university, believe it or not, Mike was the first one to know about it. So it's been a great pleasure with knowing you and sharing all that with you. Now, I do have a little a presentation, and a couple of slides that can I share?
You should be able to share it, Mendy. Yep.
And but I want to thank everybody who took the time of their day today to join us. Yeah. Well, I had this slide, and I think Mike covered it all.
Who is this guy?
Like Mike was saying, I always try to. I never own any toys for a week. My mom can tell you more about that, and the only reason being is because I always try it fast to figure out what's in them, how they do what they do. That's my thing, and that has led me to succeed on a lot of small projects, a lot of initiatives that I've done in the past since I was a child, and all the extracurricular activity that I was able to do. it's always been the backbone of that is me trying to figure things out and trying to solve problems. And that's how now fast forward that I entered an engineering environment where I feel confident and ready to do some impact on communities around me, instead of telling people and try to get others to, but now I can get involved and achieve those goals. And that's how this company Solargeny is born, with the mission of really to bring sustainable and accessible solar energy solutions for the underserved communities. And when I talk about the underserved community, I'm really focused on the person that I was when I lived in Haiti in my whole life. Since from when I was born till I was 19 years old, I never had power at my house, and energy is not a commodity there. And my goal is really to break that curse where, okay, now energy should not be a luxury, rather a commodity for those people, and for people like me growing up. And that's really in one word, the mission of this initiative. And we have with those goals, we have come up with okay, there are already systems in the market for those for those issues. There are batteries. There's a lot of company that makes batteries, make inverters, make controllers, and the whole thing. But places like Haiti or third world countries, they, even though sometimes they will have access to that, there's also another component of, okay, the technical skills to make that work has been another issue, because you may go and invest and send a friend or a family member a battery and an inverter and all that stuff, and they have it, but a lot of times technical skills are not there to put everything together to make it work right. So what we envision is having something that is more so step forward, where it's ready to go and ready to be implemented right away, that will delay the need of extensive installation or complicated installation, but yet still provide opportunity for learning, because that's where this industry is going. It's going towards smart, intelligent, and automated systems. So therefore, there's still learning possibility for the local person or the youth to learn about these new systems. And what we have put together is a consolidation of every component to go from the sun to your outlet. It's
And Mendy,
if you have the
Mendy,
sun.
I'll make a little comment here too. There are a couple different components here too. Number one, like he's saying, it's packaged for simplicity, so it can be dropped in. But then also you do, one of the real great benefits, we're all looking for sustainable businesses in Haiti. How do we create those sorts of things that allow people to actually have a business? These need to have people on site for installation, implementation, maintenance, and ongoing services. So it can help to build, small technical businesses in the communities. And then number two, what we found out at our parish is it doesn't end at this system. It's the whole electrical system going to the outlet where whatever they're using is being plugged in. And so this really can serve to update the entire infrastructure at a parish, because we all know, in Haiti, the infrastructure is not the most reliable infrastructure. So you put something in like this, and you say, well, is it actually going to get there to the end user to be able to plug something in? And Mendy has solutions for that too. And I'll shut up and let you keep going. But I think that's really important, both the people that it employs in Haiti and the reliability that you can drive with this. And then, by the way, I'm going to be up in just a second, so I'll say my goodbyes, but I'll listen for a second.
Yes, that's very important, and I don't want to mislead anybody from thinking that, okay, hey, are you taking the jobs of a technician that would install a complex system? Well, no, we are upgrading a system to actually provide them more skills, because this is simpler, smarter, intelligent, and this is where the energy business is going, and this is where we can provide the learning opportunity for those folks. And we have two different series of this system, and it ranges from a 5 kilowatt to 10 kilowatt. However, it doesn't stop at 10 kilowatt. So it goes all the way up to 120 kilowatt hour storage. And to pair with that, that would be about 60 kilowatt power output. So the system can be built to run from a small school office that needs a printer, or that needs a couple of computers to be turned on, or lights, all the way up to a hospital level that needs to run machines and has 24/7 power supply. So it all depends on how big it needs to be. And the cool thing is you can also start from small and grow it. You can add to it incrementally over time if the need is there. Comparison to other system, you can't do that. You either go small or you go big to what you exactly want. And when we talked about the system that we've done before, this is an example of what Mike was referring earlier. This above here is what they had before at that parish, with the lead acid batteries and inverters, controller, and you see how much wiring there is to be done on multiple boards and components. And after we took all of that out, we upgraded into our systems, which is powered by lithium phosphate batteries, and with 15 years of service with those kind of systems. And as you can see, it's far less connection and in those new systems.
Mendy, you mentioned the batteries, and you gave me quite an education when we met. I was glad to learn about that. To tell them how it compares to the lead acid batteries in terms of life and power. That was really impressive to me.
Yes. So when it comes to storing energy and batteries, it's all a chemical exchange. Now, the most ordinary and long time ever been in the market is the lead acid battery. That's what you have in most of your ordinary cars, not electrical cars, but the gas car to start it. And we have those deep cycle batteries for application for energy storage. Those deep cycle batteries are only good for 600 to 800 cycles. That means you can charge it and discharge it 600 to 800 times. Now, when it comes to lithium phosphate battery, different chemistry, which is newer, which is what you have in your electrical vehicles, lithium ion or lithium phosphate. For our case, we use lithium phosphate. And with that chemical composition for batteries, it can give you anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 cycles. Now that's a very exponential number comparison to your lead acid battery. A lead acid battery, therefore, will last you about 2 or 3 years, and many of you may have that experience already if you did energy installation in Haiti or anywhere else. You will remember that after 3 years you had to change batteries on the system, although the inverters was still good, everything else was still good. You have to change batteries. Now with the lithium phosphate batteries, you have 6,000 cycles. That's equivalent to about 15 to 16 years of service. That's if you discharge it and charge it every day.
That's really impressive. So more expensive at the beginning, but over the long haul, definitely cost savings.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And
David,
that's when
questions now?
we with all of this advantage with having this type of battery, you have a much longer lifetime for the system, and that's why I think the opportunity here is for the underserved communities where, okay, how can we make this a more valuable asset to those people, and I think a lot of you here share the same mission with for sustainability, for a, a community development, and and project that actually gets to people and change their lives. So I think this system, when I was working on the design for the past year, a couple of years, the idea for it is to actually cater to this environment. So how do I fix the problem that I had when I was a child? That's the motto for the system. That those are the user needs. Those are the questions that are asked when I was putting this together. I know everybody's pretty quiet. Any questions so far?
This is Bill Kaufman. I didn't quite catch what the batteries are made out of. I got the phosphate, but I didn't hear the first part.
Lithium phosphate.
Lithium.
Lithium? Okay. And then do you go to the parish that we'd want to see in Haiti and do a assessment of what size they need?
Yes. Now that depends on where you are.
Timon in Haiti?
Where?
Timon?
The Monde.
Timon.
Okay.
It's by Hinch, near Hinch?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give one quick answer before I leave, and I don't want to stretch what Mendy's capabilities are, but what we've found are a couple things. He has connections, in the area that we're in, fortunately. I imagine those can extend, but the other thing he has that is very useful that we, take for granted nowadays are he is a drone expert, and so we've got, we can see our parish clearly from a lot of the video and pictures that he's done. So he can get very engineering specific. I'm an engineer. I'm not nearly as good as Mendy, but he can get understanding of what the environment is there through communication with local people, and then also through drones that will actually bring some things to life for him.
Okay.
That helps.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a mechanical engineer also, so.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. What he was saying is we did an the assessment we did for the parish before we made the plan to execute the project.
Okay.
Was a 3D modeling of the whole facility, of the whole area using photogrammetry systems, and we were able to measure where it should be, how much kilowatt hour we can install, and so forth. So we do this type of study for you as well, if it needs to be done. I use it here in the U.S. for construction. So it's only soothing to use it for the same for solar energy systems.
Okay.
Danny?
I have a comment and I have a comment and a question. Mendy, are you familiar with the University of Notre Dame's Institute for Global Development?
No.
It's run by a former civil engineer, the name of Kevin Fink, F-I-N-K. And I don't know specifically all of the projects that they may be engaged in, but I do know that they're making efforts to get some of their engineering people engaged as well internationally. Kevin actually is a civil engineer. He worked for the city of either Notre Dame or West Bend, or not West Bend, but anyway, he's a civil engineer by training. But anyway, the other thing is that Jerry Harris, who's an engineer at Marquette University and is also on the committee of the Jesu 80 project, is an engineer who has also made some effort in international activities with his students or graduate students primarily, I believe. Anyway, might be good to think about how you might connect with either one or both of those organizations. I think the Notre Dame effort might be a little more open to what you're looking at than perhaps Jerry, but I'm not sure of that either, so I can't speak for either one of them.
I know
Thanks, David.
Yeah, David put
Thank you.
Mendy's information in the chat. And if you do have any suggestions like that, well, I'll say that Mendy is an unbelievable mechanical engineer, and he's growing his business skills so for any advice that you have, he'll take it. And I'm glad to help make any of those connections. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dan, I think Danny
that is
Bauman
very-
had a question. Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, I did. David, I'm sorry I got into this a little bit late this evening, but I'm really glad that Mendy is making this presentation. My thought is that what's so great about this is that we now have 3 different sources of solar energy that are making their services available to schools and parishes and clinics, throughout Haiti. And the 3 of them are, of course, are Mendy's, Solargeny. Number 2 is, of course, Kevin Keene with Brighton, Haiti. And the third one is Patrick Eugene with his digital cap, whatever it's called.
Digital cap, yeah.
Yeah, digital cap. Now, what's neat about that is that they all have their pros and cons, okay? And it isn't just about the cost, okay? I mean, and that's particularly important today because of the violence in Haiti. And we know, for example, that Brighton, Haiti moved their operation from Port-au-Prince up to Cap-Haïtien, and they're unbelievably reluctant to take on any jobs in the southern part of Haiti, okay? I guess Mendy is based out of Port-au-Prince probably, and probably does a lot of work out on the peninsula, the southern part, okay? And Patrick Eugene, he's getting ready to do a job for Sue Carlson in Meador, okay? So their ability to move around the country is unbelievably important in today's violent environment, okay? And we know too that from a cost point of view, Kevin might have the advantage because he's donating free solar panels, okay? And as Mendy rightly pointed out, there's a lot more to a solar system than just the panels, okay? So I guess I'm saying all of this, David, because it would be good if somebody from PTPA put together a sheet that talked about all three options with the pros and cons to each option. Because depending on where your church is or your school, one might be more appealing to you than another one. Okay. And I think that having these three choices is unbelievably fantastic. Okay. So let me leave it at that.
Thanks,
I do
Danny.
want to ask a side question for Mendy personally. Are you any relationship to Mario Calixte?
No, not that I know of, but I could have been.
Mario is a guy from Port-au-Prince who is now here in the U.S. But Mario got his master's at Virginia Tech, and he used to travel around Haiti at my request to teach the teachers how to use the computers that we donate to schools. Okay, so
Awesome.
Calixte is a good name in my book. Okay.
Thank you.
So the other thing, Mendy, is how familiar are you with those other two companies that are doing solar?
I know Patrick personally, and I actually met him at a PTPA conference some years ago
Yeah, yeah,
in Nashville, and I'm based out of the southern part of Haiti.
yeah. Are you working primarily in the southern part?
Yes, the system we installed are over there in the southern part.
Yeah, I mean that's
Anywhere from the Port-au-Prince down all the way to Lekai, Jeremy,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
the whole Great South. They
Yeah.
call it.
Well, I think that's fantastic because I have schools on my waiting list for computers down in Lekai and Jacques Bell, Port Salut, Jeremy out there, all the way out the peninsula, even on La Gonave. But I can't give them computers because they don't have power. Okay, so
Right.
I think making your systems available and affordable is fantastic. Great idea.
Thank you.
Speaking of affordable and cost, you probably know the big question that everybody's thinking, Mendy, is I don't know if you're going to go over the cost estimate, but that would be sure helpful.
I don't have a slide for cost, but what I can tell you is a lot of the cost for the system have more to do with the movements of the system when it comes to Haiti. Delivering anything in Haiti in this day and age is a nightmare. It's super difficult, and we have used our local port in the south to bring things from the U.S. to Haiti from Florida. So that's how we bring every components. Because I do in other initiatives build industrial plants for in Haiti for ice making, ice factory and stuff. So we're always shipping heavy equipment, heavy duty items to that port. So we can say that we have a portal to do that, and that's the only thing that sometimes can skew the prices on goods that are going to Haiti. But as far as price here in the US, if you were to show up here in Tennessee to get one of our system for your barn, or quite frankly, we have a bunch of clients in the US that are getting these systems, and a lot of them are that or some people that are scared of hurricanes when they don't have power, they will get this system and have them set up for their house. So we have a local clientele as well. So it ranges right now from $3,500 for the smallest system all the way up to actually the biggest one is under 10K, $10,000. That's within the US. Now, based on your project, it may requires X amount of 5 kW or X amount of 10 kW, or and that price can change based on your need.
Are you
It's good.
bringing all your stuff into Port-au-Prince, or are you able to import stuff via either, what is it, Grand Gonave or Petit Goave down around
So,
Lacaille? Are you able to get?
Mirepoix.
I'm sorry?
We are importing stuff to Mirepoix.
Oh, are you? Well, that's good.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
we
probably
do. I do have stuff going into Port-au-Prince, but those are like container loads of industrial equipment and stuff. But unless you have a project that requires a couple of megawatts, then then we may just do stuff in the south.
Yeah.
So Mendy,
And also we explore in the north for shipping as well.
if somebody on the call were interested in learning more and talking to you individually, can they? I put your contact information. Would the right process to be just to contact you directly and discuss
Yes.
a project? Okay,
Yes,
very
absolutely.
good. Yeah, because as many of you know, depending on where you are, it may or may not be safe to even deliver or do work in a particular area. So it may be a
Right.
while for
And
some of
also
you.
and also any of you who are already have a path to bring your items, bring goods to the country or where you are, you can also acquire these things here and then ship them to Haiti or to other country. And I think you mentioned that there are others from Latin
Mhm.
American countries on here as well.
That's right. Mhm.
All right. And here's the thing: the goal is, for me personally, the goal is, what can we achieve? What are we doing? This business model is really to empower people, and it's really our goal is to make sure that, okay, we can do what's possible to bring energy to people that are in the most needs of it. Now, I don't pitch this product to the stream of companies, or I'm not competing with companies like EG4, the big entity in the energy, and that's why I focus on this sector, or the community of people that have, that are advocates for sustainability, and that can make sure that it happens.
Fantastic.
So can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
This is Diane Huggins. Hi, Mindy. This is incredible. I'm very, very impressed. I was just wondering, do you handle the installation once the equipment gets there? And I was wondering, since you're in the southern part of Haiti, do you ever do anything in the northern department, north of Haiti? And then also, do you train the people on how to maintain the equipment once it's installed?
Yes, perfect. We do the installation, and the installation really doesn't require much. It's usually plug and play. It can be a same day installation if there are already distribution system, meaning you have outlets on the building, stuff like that is already existent. We can just come and plug to it and just provide the power system. That can happen relatively quickly. And to your second question was about if we do things in the north. We haven't done any project in the north, but we can it needs to happen in the north. Port-au-Prince is where I cannot really answer right now for project. In Port-au-Prince it's very difficult.
And what about training people? One of the
And
things that we have found is that you can spend all this money, but nobody knows how to take care of it. What about training people for maintenance? I know that this is relatively low maintenance, but still, someone's got to
yes.
know how to take care of things.
Yes, and we do offer immediate training for the person who will be responsible for it, because the system is built with the intention that somebody will try to mess with it, and it's smart enough to do a lot of things on its own. Meaning, if you plug something that you're not supposed to plug to it, it will shut off. If you overload it, it will stop. It has a lot of protection features in it that can sometimes be, annoying for some people, because it's not like a gas generator that take everything you give it to. This one it wants you to use it right, and we provide those type of training for the person who would be responsible for it. Our team is equipped to be able to do that, and on top of that, we also offer, if you have internet in your facility or in your area already, you can plug this to the internet and have control or have data coming from it at any given time you want from here. And I should have had a, a, a screenshot of that on here, but you can get on your phone and check if your system is running or what's going on with it. For example, I don't know if you can see, Mike, allow me to share the status of your system in Haiti. This is the current status of
Wow,
the
that's
system we
remarkable,
installed
Mendy.
at Mike's parish.
Okay.
So right now,
That's
it's
very cool.
because it's late. You may see that there's no. You may see that there's no power.
You can monitor it from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yes, you can monitor it from anywhere, and we can offer that as well to have remote diagnosis of what's going on with the system. And that's if you have internet. If you don't have internet, it's a bit difficult to make that happen. And in the morning, this this side of the screen right here will light up to show that there's power coming from the solar panels. So that's typical for the system to be this full at the end of the day while they're using it. And it also can show you the amount they're using. For right now, it's 400 watts is being used out of that system, and it gives you that live feedback all the time. So there are ways to actually understand how much power is that place actually needs. Let's say you have a system that is 20 kilowatt, and you keep getting calls from the user saying, hey, our system keep going down and we need more power. We can go back in the chart and see how much power they're using per day, how much power we're generating from solar. Okay, should we increase the solar or should we increase the storage based on the time they are using it? For example, in the church situation, which is their case, on Sunday, you would see the chart going crazy because the church is on it, every building is on it. I can look at the chart and seeing that they're pulling 3,000 watts out of it, doing mass and stuff. So you have that ability. I hope that answered the question you had.
Did you see the question in the chat? Somebody wanted to know if you had any experience getting equipment into Cuba.
I have not shipped anything to Cuba. I personally have not been to Cuba, but I'm happy to look into that and seeing how it can be done.
Great.
I'm open to the whole Central America, Caribbean. That's because that's where I think this fits the best, and I think we can make it happen.
Great. Mendy, if you would please stop sharing your screen so we can see one another again. I'd appreciate it.
All right, perfect.
Very good. There you go. Well, thank you so much, Mendy. That was just it's so impressive. I think we all really admire your ingenuity, your dedication to your home country and making life better for many. It's pretty exciting. And we're always many parishes are often looking for income generating activities for a parish so they have some income. And I've had the privilege of visiting a lot of parishes in Haiti, and I've seen some very innovative things. People who have bought freezers and they sell ice because they have energy. I've seen folks who they had a huge bank of outlets and they charge people to charge their phones. I mean, a lot of people have to go a long distance, so they charge just a couple of good, but it adds up. This one, it must have had 100 outlets. It was crazy. I don't know if it was overpowered or not, but there's
I'm
so
glad
many
you
innovative things. And people who put in a Starlink system and then they started an internet cafe. And so people have the ability to access the internet because the Starlink is very capable of running multiple devices at the same time. So you can get really innovative. We know the typical uses for electricity, but people get very creative to create some income.
I'm glad you said that because my mother lives in Haiti still, and she sell ice. She makes ice. In 2019, I installed a complete lithium phosphate system for her, and ever since she bought freezers and make bag of ice, and everybody comes to the house to buy
You
ice.
have to have cold prestige available when you're in Haiti. So the ice is very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Folks, are getting close to the end of our time, and I have a bit of a bittersweet announcement to make, and that is that I've taken another job. I'll be leaving PTPA effective February 12th. I decided it was time for me to go back to my social work roots, working from home as kind of a single person shop for 2.5 years left me a bit stir crazy, and I felt like I really needed to be around people again. So I'll have an office to go to and a place to go. So it has been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to serve in this role. To follow Teresa was nearly an impossible task, because she's quite the giant, and I appreciate what she's done, the foundation she's laid. I've hoped that I've been able to set the path for the future of PTPA on the right path, and excited about what is to follow. And Steve Schmitz is on the call too, and he's the president of the board now. And I just wanted to invite Steve just to talk about what this, how the board is looking at this and what this might mean for the future.
Well, thank you, David. Thank everyone. I mean, in the world today, if anything is constant, it's change. And this is certainly a big blast for PTPA to hear this news. And we certainly wish the best for David in his new adventure. And we're going to miss him greatly. But personally, I'm not going to let the tether loose. I'm going to keep a connection going with him pretty strongly here. In a tactical mode, the board is meeting every week right now. Trying to get a brain dump from David, make sure we don't drop any of the major balls and projects we got going on right now. I mean, keep in mind, we have 300 connections to different parishes that are twinned in Haiti. Each and every one of us on this call has a huge heart and love for not only Haiti, but Latin America, and expanding our mission of connecting parishes to parishes. So please help us support that, and your help is needed to attend these Zoom meetings, to keep connected to our website, to keep asking us questions and placing phone calls. Just help us not drop the ball. We've been here for 47 years. We're looking to the future. We're going to look at the transition model and try to figure out what's the best way to proceed moving forward in between David's exit and a new leadership. So, help us with that. We'd appreciate your suggestions and comments. Keep in mind that things we do have going on looking to the future is the February Zoom. The next one on the 27th of February is P4H Global. They're an education group. That's going to be a great way to learn about how P4H can help train your teachers at your chapel in your village church. So join us for that one. I think David's going to send an invite out and kind of help us keep that one on the books. And then look forward to August, the national conference in Nashville, where we can all get together and hug each other and commiserate and celebrate. So keep those things on your docket. Keep us in your prayers. Keep your sister parishes, your twin parishes in your prayers. There's all sorts of need for unity and support and prayers and fellowship. So we're all in a ministry of presence together. We can keep this going. So I appreciate that support. So with that, David, do you want to pray us
Yeah.
out?
I just want to mention too, because she is on the call, and many of you have interacted with Karen. Karen Schechter is on the call, and Karen is I've been blessed to have her as my administrative help support person for the last several months, and she's done a tremendous job. The e-newsletter is probably 90% because of her. She's been a tremendous asset. She's been communicating with a lot of our parishes out there. She will continue in her role, and so she'll be available. And if there's some interim period where there's not somebody in my seat, she'll still be around and be available to answer your questions, to help direct you. So you'll still have a resource to go to, and of course the board is always available. And Karen will know when she needs to go to them for answers that she may not have dealt with so far. So thank you, Karen, and thank you all. It's been an incredible privilege to work with all of you, and I just continue to encourage you to do all you can do to maintain your relationships, as I know it's really difficult. I'll continue. That's my parish behind me in my picture there. I'll continue to be involved. I'll probably jump on the Zooms occasionally. So this isn't the last time you'll see me. So thanks so much.
I have a question.
Can I just say, David, we are going to miss you. And I have to brag a little bit. I was the president of the board when we hired David. I was involved with the search, and it was a miraculous thing when we encountered David and talked him into working with PTPA. And I'm very, very proud to have been a part of that process, and you've done an amazing job. I want to thank you so much and wish you the very best. And I want everybody on this call to know that we pledge to stay true to our calling. And only because of David, I poured a glass of wine here. Cheers. Cheers, David.
Go Colts. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it.
I have a question, Bill Kaufman. Is there going to be contact information somewhere posted about this Kevin Fink and his digital cap, their solar resources?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I could. Actually, if you look up Kevin Fink, University of Notre Dame, I think School of Engineering or Engineering Department, he would be there on link. And it came right up when I looked at it too, because I wanted to check for sure on the name of the organization that he's actually running. And Jerry Lewis is at Marquette University, Department of Engineering. I'm going to be in touch with Jerry Lewis. I know him personally. I know both of them personally, as a matter of fact. So my name is David Sauer. If you want to use that name, if you contact Kevin, he will know who I am. Kevin is from Milwaukee also. And he's a Notre Dame grad, both his bachelor's and his master's in engineering at Notre Dame. But he's from Milwaukee and went to the Marquette University High School. But in any case, you can use my name certainly, and I'll get in touch with Jerry, and I can drop Kevin a note too if that would help.
Okay.
But both of them could be potentially, interested at least.
Thank you, David.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks again, Mendy, and thank you all for joining us. And let's just pause for a brief moment of prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Good and gracious God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather tonight. We do so in your name. We thank you for choosing us for this ministry of presence to our brothers and sisters around the world. We ask your blessing upon the future of PTPA. May it be robust and strong, and lead and guide the board in their discernment about the future. And thank you for these many members who are so engaged and will be there for the long haul. We thank you for this ministry. And we ask you to bless us in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you very much.